will be delivering his icebreaker speech. Mark Adari, I have not heard him deliver a speech because this is his icebreaker speech. But I have heard him respond.
No, whoa.
What? No?
David.
This is David Drew.
No, I'm sorry, Mark is a general evaluator.
Yeah.
You see how ill-prepared I am?
I gotta start over?
It's David. He's delivering his icebreaker speech, and I have heard David give responses to tabletop questions. I think he's actually received some ribbons, and he's going to be speaking his #1 speech, Pressure. And any of us who have delivered our icebreaker speech, we look back on that and we think, wow, the burden of physical or mental distress, the constraint of circumstance, the application of force to something by something else in direct contact with it, compression. So please give David a warm welcome as he alerts us a little bit more to what pressure is in his life and why it matters. David Doran, Pressure.
Pressure. It's a word we all know pretty well. It's weird because we're all born with at least an iota of pressure that's been put upon us that we didn't ask for. I know for me, people would say, David, you know, you're the son of 2 Haitian immigrants. Like, that's pressure. You know, and I said, no, that's not the most pressure, you know. And they say, David, you're a first-generation college student. That's pressure. Imagine being the firstborn son to proud Haitian parents and having 5 siblings and then realizing you're the last born son to 5 Haitian parents. So being the only boy and having 5 little sisters is a ridiculous amount of pressure. At first it was fun, you know, I got kids to play video games with, and it was video games, pizza, and sleeping. And now it's boys and relationships and possibly husbands. And I got one that's dating somebody for 7 years. I just found out the second one is dating my best friend's little brother, and it was just last week I found out. My mind is just spinning. But that's the pressure I was born with. And when it comes to pressure, it's like an itch, a craving that you get. Because I found out I could be a pretty decent big brother. I could be a pretty decent college student. But then I started to crave a different level of pressure. And that craving brought me to 3 different jobs that I thought I would never personally have. The first is being a soccer referee. Because I always liked soccer, I respected it, but I never really had a passion for it. In my family, every immigrant loves soccer. I don't know if it's engraved in our DNA and I must have like skipped that gene, I don't know. So I wanted to get it, and you don't know pressure until you call the wrong call and you have to stand by the wrong call because you're pointing the wrong way and everyone's yelling at you like, no, it's this way, it's this way. And you just stay firm, that's pressure. The second job, I was a leasing agent for an apartment complex called Campus Lodge. And being able to sell something to someone who doesn't know that they necessarily need it, and they're bombarding you with questions, you don't know the answer, but your morality doesn't let you lie, that's pressure. Being able to find the right words when you need it. Last but not least, this form of pressure was kind of a personal favorite. I was actually a sushi chef. And the ladies' nights, you know, and can everyone with 2 X chromosomes cover their ear? Okay. The ladies' nights, the women all had amazing personalities and great feedback on books, you know, and we would always enjoy amazing cuisine, and we talked about the sushi that we made. And it was just a fun, we gave out Tory Burch purses and Michael Kors purses, a $500 purses, so people showed up, you know, so it was fun, it was fun. And doing those jobs, I got what I craved, but then I realized that there's something that comes with pressure that people don't talk about. Everyone says that, I think the most common adage with pressure is that pressure makes coals into diamonds. Well, if you take a coal, they're actually about 75 miles to 125 miles below the Earth's surface, being, you know, condensed about 130,000 atmospheres of pressure. But the second thing that no one talks about is the fire. You need thermal energy, fire, with pressure. Because just having pressure is enough to break people. Because pressure can turn coal into dust or diamonds. So having an internal fire and an internal drive to keep going and to keep pursuing when things are hard as a big brother, when things are hard as a college student, when things are hard when you're a sushi chef and you've never had sushi in your life and you pretend like you know what you're doing so you can get a job. Like, it's always about finding that next level of what's inside of you to be greater. I think the one moment that I can remember the most, I was wrestling in high school, and it was my senior year, and I was fighting someone my exact build, my exact size, my exact mentality, my exact moves, everything. The match went to triple overtime, and I had no energy left. And I'm looking at my coach who's been yelling the whole time. He's out of breath. He's just sitting in his chair, just flopped over. He has nothing else to say. And I look at him, and I pound my chest twice, and I point at him. And he lifts his arm, and just twice he points at me. That was all the energy I had. I had nothing left for the rest of the match. But I came out on top. All I had to do was hold him down, flip him over, and I won the match. And it was the greatest feeling, because I told myself in that moment, no matter how much pressure there is, no matter how much my body aches, I'm not going to be able to tell this story if I lose. So I got to win this match. So I won that match. And I've won being a big brother. I still got a long way to go. I've won being a college student because I've got my degree. But at the end of the day, don't forget to take that pressure and light some fire under it. And if you really, really, really want some pressure, try writing your iceberg paper speech at 5:45 p.m. the day you're going to perform it. And that's real pressure. Thank you.